Fortune Bay Golf Course's manager has been put on unpaid leave after allegedly stealing thousands of dollars from a different golf course. Joseph Wisocki IV is facing 5 felony counts of theft by swindle. The Eveleth man was just hired to manage the Wilderness Golf Course in Tower this past spring. Before that, he managed a golf course in Wilmer, a job he was let go of in January. That's where authorities say he allegedly stole $28,000 over the span of about 3 years. The Boys Fort Band, which operates Fortune Bay, learned of these charges last week, 2 days after they were filed. The band's board unanimously voted to put Wisocki on unpaid leave Monday. The band's chairwoman says they take these allegations very seriously. Wisocki's expected to make his first court appearance in January.